Across the vast expanse of the United States, there exist locations that bear a dark secret, a legacy of pollution so profound they've been designated Superfund sites. These are places where industrial activity, waste disposal, or accidents have left behind a toxic footprint, contaminating the soil, water, and air. The impact of these sites extends far beyond the immediate environment, casting a long shadow over the health and well-being of communities, sometimes for generations. The very air we breathe, the water we drink, the land that sustains us. These fundamental elements of life can become insidious threats in the presence of hazardous substances. Heavy metals, pesticides, radioactive materials, and other contaminants can seep into our bodies, silently disrupting biological processes and leading to a range of health problems. The consequences can be devastating, ranging from developmental issues in children to chronic diseases and increased cancer risks in adults. In this series, we embark on a journey to explore some of America's most dangerous Superfund sites, delving into their history, the damage they've inflicted, and the human cost of living in their shadow. Our journey begins in a seemingly idyllic neighborhood in Niagara Falls, New York, a place called Love Canal. This community, once envisioned as a utopian haven, became a chilling symbol of industrial negligence and its devastating consequences for human health. Beneath the surface of this once peaceful neighborhood lay a dark secret, a buried chemical wasteland that would forever alter the lives of its residents. In the 1940s and 50s, the Hooker Chemical Company used the canal as a dumping ground for over 21,000 tons of toxic waste. The chemicals, a cocktail of deadly compounds, were carelessly buried, with little regard for the potential consequences. Years later, as homes were built and families moved in, the toxic legacy of Love Canal began to surface. Children playing in their backyards developed mysterious skin rashes and sores, basements flooded with black sludge, emitting noxious fumes. Birth defects and miscarriages became alarmingly common. A sense of dread settled over the community as residents began to realize the invisible danger lurking beneath their feet. Lois Gibbs, a young mother whose son was diagnosed with leukemia, emerged as a relentless advocate for her community. She spearheaded a grassroots movement, organizing residents, demanding answers, and challenging the authorities. The struggle for recognition and justice was long and arduous. Finally, in 1978, after years of denial and downplaying the severity of the situation, President Jimmy Carter declared Love Canal a federal emergency. The declaration marked a turning point in the fight for environmental justice, forcing the government to acknowledge the dire situation and take action. Over 800 families were evacuated, their homes and lives left behind, forever scarred by the toxic legacy of Love Canal. The Love Canal disaster served as a stark wake-up call, exposing the dangers of unchecked industrial pollution and its devastating impact on public health. It led to the creation of the Superfund program in 1980, a federal initiative aimed at cleaning up the nation's most contaminated sites. The legacy of Love Canal continues to serve as a reminder of the importance of environmental vigilance and the need to hold polluters accountable for their actions. Our exploration takes us deeper into the heartland of America, to a place known as the Valley of the Drums in Bullitt County, Kentucky. Here, nestled amidst rolling hills and lush greenery, lies a scar on the landscape, a testament to the reckless disregard for the environment that has plagued many communities across the nation. The Valley of the Drums earned its name from the countless discarded drums, barrels, and containers that litter the area, remnants of a time when industrial waste disposal was largely unregulated and environmental consequences were ignored. For years, this valley served as an illegal dumping ground for chemical companies, paint manufacturers, and other industries seeking to dispose of their hazardous waste cheaply and discreetly. The consequences of this unregulated dumping were disastrous. The soil became saturated with toxic chemicals, contaminating groundwater and poisoning the surrounding environment. The air itself carried the stench of industrial waste, a constant reminder of the invisible threat lurking in the valley. Residents of the surrounding communities began to experience a range of health problems. Skin rashes, respiratory issues, and gastrointestinal disorders became commonplace. The water, Once a source of life became a source of fear, its purity tainted by the invisible toxins. Despite the growing evidence of environmental contamination and its impact on human health, authorities were slow to respond. The companies responsible for the dumping often denied culpability, leaving residents to bear the burden of their negligence. The struggle for recognition, for someone to take responsibility for the environmental damage and its consequences, was long and frustrating. Public outcry and media attention eventually forced the government to acknowledge the severity of the situation. In 1980, the Valley of the Drums was declared a Superfund site, signifying the urgent need for cleanup and remediation. The process of removing the drums, excavating contaminated soil, and treating polluted water was a monumental task, one that continues to this day. The Valley of the Drums stands as a stark reminder of the environmental challenges we face as a nation. It highlights the importance of responsible waste management, the need for stringent regulations, and the critical role of government in protecting public health and the environment. Our journey now takes us to the heartland of Oklahoma, to a place once known for its rich deposits of lead and zinc, Tar Creek. This region, once a bustling hub of mining activity, now stands as a stark reminder of the environmental devastation that can result from unchecked industrial practices. The legacy of mining in Tar Creek is not one of prosperity, but of poisoned land, contaminated water, and a community grappling with the long-term health consequences. For decades, mining companies extracted vast quantities of lead and zinc from the earth, leaving behind mountains of mining waste known as chat piles. These chat piles, containing high concentrations of heavy metals, became a ubiquitous feature of the landscape, leaching toxins into the soil and water. What was once a source of economic prosperity transformed into a source of environmental devastation. As the years passed, the true cost of this unchecked mining activity became horrifyingly apparent. Children playing in the shadow of the chat piles were diagnosed with lead poisoning, suffering from developmental delays, learning disabilities, and other health problems. The water, once a source of life, became a conduit for toxic metals, contaminating wells and posing a serious threat to human health. The community of Pica, located in the heart of the Tar Creek Superfund site, became a symbol of the human cost of environmental neglect. Homes were condemned, businesses shuttered, and residents forced to abandon their community, leaving behind a ghost town, a haunting reminder of the toxic legacy of mining. Despite the severity of the contamination and the undeniable health impacts, the road to remediation has been long and arduous. The sheer scale of the contamination, coupled with the complex challenges of removing heavy metals from the environment, has made cleanup a daunting task. The story of Tar Creek is a tragic reminder of the importance of environmental stewardship, the need for responsible industrial practices, and the long-lasting consequences of neglecting our planet's health. It highlights the urgent need for comprehensive cleanup efforts, ongoing health monitoring, and support for communities impacted by environmental contamination. Our exploration takes us to the arid plains of southeastern Washington state, to a place etched in the annals of the Cold War, the Hanford site. This sprawling complex, once a cornerstone of America's nuclear weapons program, now stands as a stark reminder of the enduring legacy of nuclear technology, its potential for both progress and peril. The story of Hanford is a complex tapestry woven with threads of scientific innovation, wartime urgency, and the daunting challenge of managing nuclear waste. During World War II, Hanford played a pivotal role in the Manhattan Project, the top-secret effort to develop the atomic bomb. Plutonium, a key ingredient in nuclear weapons, was produced in vast quantities at Hanford, fueling America's nuclear arsenal. The urgency of wartime production often overshadowed concerns about environmental protection, leading to the accumulation of massive amounts of radioactive waste. As the Cold War intensified, Hanford's role in nuclear weapons production expanded. New reactors were built, and plutonium production continued at a frenetic pace. The waste generated by these activities, a potent cocktail of radioactive isotopes, was stored in underground tanks, a temporary solution that would eventually prove inadequate. Over time, these tanks began to leak, releasing radioactive material into the surrounding soil and groundwater. The Columbia River, a vital waterway that flows through the region, became contaminated with radioactive waste, posing a threat to both human and ecological health. The invisible threat of radiation cast a long shadow over the region, a legacy of the Cold War that continues to this day. The cleanup of Hanford is one of the largest and most complex environmental remediation projects in history. It involves removing radioactive waste from leaking tanks, treating contaminated groundwater, and dismantling aging reactors, all while ensuring the safety of workers and the surrounding communities. The scale of the task is immense, requiring innovative technologies, meticulous planning, and unwavering commitment. Hanford stands as a potent symbol of the dual nature of nuclear technology. It represents the transformative power of science, but also serves as a stark reminder of the enduring legacy of nuclear waste and the challenges of safeguarding our planet from its invisible threat. The story of Hanford underscores the importance of responsible stewardship of nuclear materials, the need for robust safety protocols, and the ongoing commitment to cleaning up the legacy of the Cold War. Our final destination takes us to the suburbs of St. Louis, Missouri, to a place where the specter of radioactive contamination hangs heavy in the air, the West Lake Landfill. This unassuming landfill, once a repository for everyday trash, became the unlikely epicenter of a radioactive waste crisis, a chilling example of how industrial negligence can transform a seemingly ordinary place into a source of profound environmental and health concerns. In the 1970s, radioactive waste from the Manhattan Project, the same program that gave birth to the atomic bomb, was illegally dumped at the West Lake Landfill. The waste, mixed with household garbage and industrial debris, lay buried for years, its presence unknown to the surrounding community. As time passed, the landfill expanded, encroaching closer to residential areas, unknowingly bringing the invisible threat of radiation closer to unsuspecting families. In 1990, the presence of radioactive material at the West Lake Landfill was finally revealed, sending shockwaves through the community. The discovery ignited fear and uncertainty as residents grappled with the realization that they had been living in the shadow of a radioactive threat. The landfill, once a mundane symbol of consumerism, transformed into a source of anxiety and dread. The community's response was swift and resolute. Residents organized, demanding answers, accountability, and a comprehensive cleanup plan. The fight for environmental justice was met with resistance from the companies responsible for the dumping and bureaucratic hurdles from government agencies. The struggle for a safe and healthy environment became a David and Goliath battle, pitting a community against powerful entities. The Westlake landfill crisis highlights the enduring legacy of the nuclear age, the challenges of managing radioactive waste, and the importance of community engagement in environmental decision-making. It underscores the need for transparency from government agencies, corporate responsibility for past actions, and the unwavering pursuit of environmental justice. Despite decades of advocacy and legal battles, the Westlake landfill remains a source of concern. The cleanup process has been plagued by delays and setbacks, leaving the community in a state of perpetual uncertainty. The story of West Lake Landfill serves as a stark reminder of the enduring challenges of radioactive waste management, the importance of community vigilance, and the ongoing struggle for environmental justice in the face of industrial negligence. As we conclude our exploration of America's most dangerous Superfund sites, it's crucial to remember the lasting impact these toxic legacies have on communities and public health. Studies have shown that living near a Superfund site can reduce lifespans by an average of 1.2 years, a stark reminder of the invisible threat these sites pose. I urge each and every one of you to visit the Environmental Protection Agency's website, epa.gov, to check your proximity to a Superfund site. Knowledge is power, and understanding the potential risks in your environment is the first step toward protecting yourself and your loved ones. If you live near one of these sites, I encourage you to share your experiences and any health effects you've observed in the comments below. Your stories can help raise awareness and inspire action. For those living in close proximity to Superfund sites, relocation might be a difficult but necessary decision to safeguard your health and well-being. While the allure of familiarity and the emotional ties to one's home are strong, the long-term health risks posed by these sites might outweigh the benefits of staying. Please like this video and subscribe to this channel for more content on staying safe and prepared in a world where environmental challenges are increasingly prevalent. Thank you for joining me on this journey of exploration and awareness. By shedding light on these toxic legacies, we can work together to ensure a healthier and safer future for all.